Today on The Young and the Restless, Abby makes a big request of Sally, Nate, and Devin come full circle, and Nikki brings Victor a problem. All products and services featured are independently chosen by editors. However, soaps.com may receive a commission on orders placed through its retail links, and the retailer may receive certain auditable data for accounting purposes. Sally arrives at Society, where Abby hugs her and thanks her for coming on short notice. She's laid out a spread for her and has her favorite wine. Sally feels she's being buttered up. Abby says she'll do whatever it takes to make her say yes. Sally squints. To what? They sit, and Abby goes on about how she's always loved Sally's style. Sally asks what this is all about. It turns out that Abby thought she found the perfect wedding dress in Paris, but it's not the one. She was hoping Sally would design one for her. Sally would be happy too. Abby squeals and hugs her. Sally asks about the timeline and is stunned to hear she needs it in 2 weeks. Audra arrives at Nate's place, and he tells her Amy Lewis just left. It turns out that she was his father's lover and had his child. Amy's sick, and wants him to find his brother to break the news before it's too late. Audra wonders why she's asking a virtual stranger to find Damien. Nate says he's the only family he'll have left when she dies. Nate wonders if it's really up to him to tell this guy the truth. It will upend both of their lives. Nikki walks into the club and spots Lily sitting alone. She approaches and notices she's still not speaking to her. She asks her to please hear her out. Lily already heard what she has to say. Nikki says she'll learn when she starts working with her that she never gives up. Lily informs her they will not be working together. Nikki promises there will be no more deception. Lily doesn't trust the Newmans. She says Nikki should have told her the truth. She's as ruthless as Victor when there's something she wants. Nikki apologizes, but it was a business move. Lily says she used Catherine to manipulate her. Nikki protests that every word she said was true. She wants Lily at Chancellor. Lily laughs and informs her that Victor wants the exact opposite. Nikki asks Lily what makes her think that. Lily wonders if this is a ploy. She says Victor told Devin his plan all along was to push her back to Winters. Nikki says she's never heard this. Lily doesn't know what to believe. Nikki wants Lily working with her at Chancellor. She will be in charge, so she will call the shots. Lily marvels that she's so confident that they'll get Chancellor. She warns she's a worthy competitor and she won't have a position waiting for her. At the park, Victor tells Kyle to sit down. He wants to know how things are going in his personal life. Kyle says he and Summer are in a good place now. Victor asks why he didn't inform him that his parents split up. Kyle didn't realize it was relevant. Victor says it's very relevant. Kyle's all for it now that his mother's shown her true colors. Victor asks if he wants to go back to Jabat now. Kyle doesn't see what this has to do with his role at Glissade. Victor says, a lot. If he leaves, everything he has planned is at risk. He needs to know where Kyle stands right now. Victor asks if Kyle has regrets about stealing the formula from Jabba or thoughts of going back to Jabat. Kyle says his father hasn't even mentioned it. Victor asks if he told Jack he's the silent investor behind Glissade, because he knows. Kyle says he didn't hear it from him, but he can think of one person who might have told his father as payback. If anyone ratted him out, it's Audra Charles. At Nate's place, he and Audra continue to marvel over Amy Lewis' request. It's hard for him to fathom that she never told his father he had a son. Audra defends the woman's decision, and thinks it would be good to get to know Damien if he really is his half-brother. But the whole thing could be one big scam. Nate assures Audra that he has his guard up, but she hasn't asked him for money or anything. Audra thinks he's the perfect mark and notes she doesn't trust anyone. Nate muses, I can attest to that. Audra thinks it's smart to be wary. Nate admits not everything has added up. Emmy turned down his offer for help with her leukemia. Then again, he got the feeling she regretted keeping the secret all these years. If she's dying, he's sure she's worried. Audra is sure this has brought up memories of his father. Nate's just sad to think he had a son he never knew. Audra says, if it's true. Nate kisses her and remarks that he was just thinking that things were falling into place for him. Why is this drama coming into his life right now? Audra says she's there for him whatever he decides. He teases that she sounded like a girlfriend. They make out. At Society, Abby recalls that Sally came through for her in a time crunch before, and her sister Victoria's dress looked amazing. she's the only person that she'll have to say yes then. Abby makes a toast. She tells Sally that not long ago she thought she was going to be her sister-in-law. She asks what happened with Adam. Sally says things just didn't work out. Abby's sorry and notes her timing isn't great. Sally couldn't be happier that she's in love and is honored to design her dress. At the club, Nikki tells Lily she doesn't have the resources to take on Chancellor after Billy fails. Lily lets her know that Jill is back in the picture. When the dust settles, she'll have her back and so will all the employees. She's confident she'll be back where she belongs before anyone can get their hands on Chancellor. I think it's time you move on. Nikki walks away. In the park, Kyle tells Victor that Audra has every motive to blow the lid off of his secret. Victor tells Kyle that he realized he had such fury against his parents to take on Glissade and make it a success. Kyle says his drive has less to do with his parents than Victor thinks. Victor asks if he'll consider it if Jack asks him to return. Kyle will decline. Victor says he has his answer. Kyle asks, to what question? Victor says he'll find out soon enough and walks off. At Nate's place, he and Audra are making out on the couch and undressing when a persistent knocking comes at the door. They stop and Nate answers the door to Devon. Audra makes an excuse and heads out as Nate tells her he'll let her know what he decides. Nate tells Devon that Audra was ticked off at him for trying to get her a job at Winters. Devon asks what his urgent text was about. Nate says there could be a new member of the Winters extended family. Nikki joins Victor in his office and says she just saw Lily, who gave her another good reason why he should give up his revenge against Jack. We have got to focus all of our energies on getting control of Chancellor before we lose it for good. Victor thinks Lily's bluffing. Nikki's not convinced. She confronts Victor about wanting Lily to go back to Winters. Victor says that's where she belongs. Nikki says she thinks Jill's going to reinstall her at Chancellor. Victor knows how to deal with Jill. At Society, Abby watches Sally sketch and tells her she should go out on her own again or at least get a raise. She loves the dress. Audra walks in and greets Sally before telling her the sketch is stunning. Abby's face falls, but she agrees to let the brunette join them. Sally explains she's designing Abby's wedding dress. Audra tells Abby she'll blow Devon away. Wanting to clear the air, Audra tells Abby she's about to marry the cousin of the man she's seeing, and it's no secret Devon isn't her biggest fan. Abby was hoping Nate would have woken up by now. She doesn't trust her any more than Devon does. She apologizes to Sally. She knows she's her friend. Audra wouldn't want Sally to lose out on a job because she's there. She moves to leave. Abby wouldn't hold it against Sally or anyone else and allows Audra to stay. Audra hopes they can be civil. Abby will do her best. Sally shows Abby the dress and she's thrilled. At Nate's place, Devon has been filled in on Amy Lewis' story, and they debate whether or not it's true. Nate's debating giving his mother a call, though if his dad and Amy hooked up, it was before they got together. She might be able to give him a sense of whether he can trust her or not. Devon says if this pans out, it's going to have a big impact on his life and this Damien dies. He has a question to ask him. I want you to be my best man. Nate tells Devon he didn't see this coming. That's the second time I've been blown away today. He thought they were still healing. Devon thinks they've come full circle, now that he's his right hand at Winters. Nate's proud of them mending their fences. Devon feels the same way. Nate tells him he'd be honored to be his best man. Alone in his apartment, Nate flashes to being a child and hugging his dad. He sighs and paces, sitting down on the stairs. He remembers his dad telling him he's a good little boy, and Nate telling his dad he wishes they could all be a family again. Standing, he picks up his phone and leaves his mother a voicemail asking her to call him back. He has questions about a woman from his father's past, Amy Lewis. Abby kisses Devon in crimson lights and tells him Sally started designing her dress, and she's thrilled with it. All that's left is the venue. They'll have to trust her dad. Lily walks in and asks, "Trust your dad? You haven't told her." Devon sighs. He was waiting until after they said their vows. Abby asks, "What has my father done now?"